For years, the idea of a sixth-generation fighter jet has had defense nerds, plane buffs, and armchair generals buzzing. The U.S. Air Force's secretive next-generation air dominance program was supposed to lead the charge, but it's been more mystery than machine. Now, though, the fog is lifting. We're finally getting a peek at what this future warbird might really be. And let's just say, it's less Top Gun, more sci-fi reboot. Think stealthier, smarter, and possibly flown by a pilot who doesn't even show up to work. Hello, drones. Buckle up, air combat is about to get weird. A new era begins. In March 2025, a major milestone was reached when President Donald Trump, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin jointly announced that Boeing had won the coveted contract for the engineering and manufacturing development phase of the next-generation air dominance program. This marked a pivotal moment, not just for the program, but for Boeing itself. It's the first time since the P-26 Peashooter, the U.S. first all-metal monoplane fighter in the 1930s, that Boeing has independently secured a major U.S. Air Force fighter contract, not counting inherited aircraft like the F-A-18 and F-15 from its 1997 acquisition of McDonnell Douglas. The new aircraft, officially designated F-47, pays homage to the legendary World War II-era P-47 Thunderbolt and subtly references the U.S. Air Force's birth year, 1947, as well as the administration of America's 47th president, replacing the F-22 Raptor. The F-47 is set to eventually replace the F-22 Raptor, which has been the Air Force's elite air superiority fighter for the past 2 decades. But while the F-22 was built to dominate conventional air battles, the global threat landscape has changed dramatically. Today, adversaries like China possess advanced stealth aircraft and long-range hypersonic missiles that challenge the traditional idea of fighter jet supremacy. Chinese systems can engage American aircraft before they even leave friendly airspace. Moreover, with tightly knit defensive networks, Chinese territory is rapidly becoming a no-fly zone for conventional fighters. To adapt to this, the next-generation air dominance program has shifted dramatically from its original vision of a standalone superjet to a family of systems, a networked array of manned and unmanned aircraft, space-based assets, and AI-enhanced tools that together redefine air superiority. The rise of collaborative combat aircraft. Unlike previous generations where each fighter was a fully self-sufficient combat platform, NGAD takes a modular, team-based approach. The idea? Distribute core functions like sensing, targeting, and jamming across a constellation of support platforms, especially collaborative combat aircraft. These autonomous drones will act as loyal wingmen, flying closer to enemy air defenses while gathering data, jamming signals, or even deploying weapons on command. By offloading these responsibilities, the manned F-47 can stay farther from danger zones, improve survivability, and focus on tactical decision-making. The U.S. Air Force plans to initially procure between 100 and 150 collaborative combat aircraft drones, with prices ranging from $20.5 million to $27.5 million per unit. But the long-term goal is to build a fleet of over 1,000 drones, a bold vision that drastically shifts the nature of aerial warfare. Data over domination. In this distributed model, sensor fusion becomes more important than ever. The F-47 might not need its own radar, infrared search and track system, or electronic warfare suite. Instead, these functions can be performed by collaborative combat aircraft and other nearby platforms, including the Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider, and potentially even constellations of satellites in orbit. These dispersed sensors will share targeting data in real time, enabling cooperative engagement strategies and far more accurate threat detection, even from stealthy targets. This isn't just about seeing the enemy first. It's about triangulating their location with pinpoint precision and feeding that data into a vast tactical network. Smaller jet, bigger impact. Traditional thinking said the next-gen fighter needed a heavy internal payload to carry long-range missiles deep into contested areas, especially in the vast Pacific theater, where air bases are often thousands of miles from the front lines. But the next-generation air dominance team flipped this thinking on its head. Instead of cramming missiles into the fighter's internal bays, most weapons will now be carried by unmanned platforms, like collaborative combat aircraft or bombers. This unburdens the F-47, allowing for a smaller, stealthier, and more agile design. It also improves survivability, as the jet won't need to fly as close to enemy defenses to deliver its payload. Long-range munitions like AIM-260, Joint Advanced Tactical missiles, or hypersonic air-to-air weapons can instead be launched from B-21 Raiders, F-15EX Eagle IAs, or B-52 bombers located deeper behind the front lines, triggered remotely by the F-47 as a command hub. Still, the F-47 isn't toothless. It will retain an internal loadout of at least 4 AIM-120 Advanced Medium-Range Air-to-Air Missile, or AIM-260s, along with sidewinders, or small-diameter bombs, for self-defense and precision strikes when needed. Range: the Pacific Challenge. One critical feature the F-47 must retain is extended operational range. General David Alvin recently confirmed that the fighter will boast a combat radius exceeding 1,000 nautical miles, nearly double that of the carrier-based F-35C. This range is essential for missions in the Indo-Pacific, where U.S. and Allied air bases are sparse and aircraft often have to cover vast distances. But even this impressive range is not enough on its own. The Air Force has already flagged the urgent need for next-generation air refueling systems, essentially stealth tankers that can accompany jets like the F-47 into contested airspace. Boeing has been developing the MQ-25 Stingray, a stealthy refueling drone originally built for the Navy, and its integration with the F-47 seems like a natural fit. If these low-observable tankers are ready by the 2030s or 2040s, it could further reduce the size and fuel burden of 6th-gen fighters, allowing even more focus on stealth and agility. Stealth to the core. Regardless of changing roles and modular responsibilities, one element of the F-47 remains constant: extreme stealth. Dozens of concept images, many showing a tailless flying wing design, emphasize low observability across the electromagnetic spectrum, while some renderings show forward canards, which may be decoys to confuse adversaries. The core idea is clear: the F-47 will penetrate even the most advanced integrated air defense systems with minimal radar signature. Stealth is not just about shape, it's also about materials, heat signatures, and data management. The F-47 will operate as a ghost in the sky, silent, deadly, and almost invisible. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive into the F-47 and the future of air combat as exciting as we did, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. This is just the beginning of what the future holds in the skies. We'll see you in the next mission.